Hey, welcome back. This is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. How are you guys doing today? Today we're going to talk about how to play cornerbacks in my 6'2 multi-8 youth football defense. Cornerback is kind of a unique position within the defense. It actually evolves pretty much with the age group divisions and gets a little bit more complicated as they get older, and passing starts to become a little bit more sophisticated in the older divisions. So let's just jump right into it real quick. Let's see if we can. Yep. So some key points for the cornerbacks is, when I start doing this, is this a passing team or a run team based on my scouting report? Definitely at younger ages, you want to play your cornerbacks more of in run support. They're kind of playing a wide run pass support or a pass support. You've got to decide kind of with that team how you're going to play, either kind of run pass or just pure pass kind of thing. And really, you got to ask yourself, is this a passing team? Do they have a birdie and a quarterback that can really pass? If so, you're probably going to move more to them playing run pass than just strictly run, then kind of pass. And you can kind of talk about that and get into that with them a little bit more. Coverage responsibility is definitely the first receiver from the outside, and don't let them forget that a tight end can be the first receiver from the outside or even a wingback. And a lot of young teams like myself on offense, we will hide good receivers at wingback, tight ends, and slots on the backside. So make sure you're talking to your backside corner about that. One of the things that the cornerbacks have to ask themselves, how many receivers are on your side? Do you need to call a Ted jam or an Al with the defensive end? Where is Fred? Is he on the other side or is he on your side? Do you have some help? Watch your hidden backside tight ends and read wingbacks. You need to read the receiver. Is he blocking? Is there a run? Is he releasing for a pass? There's a lot of stuff going on at older levels that they're going to have to start looking at. When I talk to my linebackers and the cornerbacks, I really don't want a receiver releasing free without some kind of hand or push on him. And our corners are kind of playing this underneath run, pass, zone, read thing at about 7 to 10 yards. And then they're going to pick up that outside receiver if he releases for a pass in man coverage, and then he's got man from then on. And he's playing kind of an inside press trail technique where he's playing the man almost like a basketball player with his inside forearm on the man's hip. And we're not playing the quarterback and we're not playing the football. We're playing in a press trail man coverage technique there. And you're going to play their hands and their eyes as soon as you see that foot. You should be able to see the footballs in the air by the receiver's hands and eyes when his hands go up and his eyes get big, and then we're playing those hands. The cornerback's also got to look at crackback blocks. And, when a crackback, the corner now has contain, at least in the way that we play it. Also for jet sweep teams in the scouting report, sometimes our corner will have the jet sweep back and let his receiver release to the Fred. And also the Fred or the Rover will have the motion man, not the cornerback. So those are some kind of quick key points there. You can hit a quick screenshot of that if you want, but we'll talk more about that as we go through this here. For cornerbacks that are young, it's really they're playing run support, especially for teams we know they may pass once or twice a game. Your Fred's back here playing cover 0. So, basically in young teams, I have my corners playing like an extra defensive end, force contain person. And you can even tighten up your salmon will there and have them play almost like a 9-3 kind of, or 9-2 kind of thing going on. But that's really up to you guys. I like to do that. And, that's a wilder call, which is wide for the cornerbacks. They're playing out there to help run support. I like them if they see the tight end release to kind of help out on that if they can. But I'm not going to get too squirrely on them if they don't see that when we're playing young, cornerbacks that are really young. So that's kind of how I play really young corners. I would say, 8 and under kind of things. As they get older, you can start moving the corner back in this area here and have them play C and DE, kind of help with that. Because most likely the younger teams are not going to pass. And even with some teams that are not going to pass, you can get away with this Fred playing Sky for safety, cover 0, and get away with playing your corners more run support there. Now, as we start to get older, 8 and up or passing teams, we start moving into where cornerbacks, we start talking about more about how cornerbacks play. If I'm in double tights, that's probably a running formation. So I like to set these guys up in an angle at the C gap right outside the D end. And they've got the first receiver from the outside always. And right now, that's Y, and basically that's these two guys, really. So let's talk about the tight end. So Carl over here, the wide side corner's got Y. He's the first receiver from the outside. Carl is kind of playing this 7-10 yard little zone pass run thing going on here. And then once a receiver breaks, Carl's then got him in man coverage, and he's playing man. So he's kind of playing a run zone read thing here. And then once his guy breaks out for a pass, we've got him manned up, and he's got him manned up all over the field. I think the last charts I had here was the third, but we're manning up on that guy. And that's usually how we do that all the time there. So he's basically in mug or macho man coverage after this first little, we're reading what's going on here, and then he's gone. And Carl here is about 5 to 7 yards, kind of right off these linebackers, maybe a little bit deeper, and kind of reading that there. Because he's trying to help out with C, D, E, and then also pass. And that's what's going on there with Carl. But Carl's definitely got his outside receiver, but he's got run, pass, responsibility, and then pass if his receiver releases on out. The same thing with Bob, but because Bob has got both receivers over here, he's trying to read which receiver is going to the outside, and whichever one goes to the outside, he's got the outside, and then he's reading run, pass, and then once that receiver he knows is releasing in his area, he's got him on pass. Fred's got the number 2 inside guy here, and any help that he can give on the backside with the quarterback, because Fred's still playing kind of a zone here, but he's really looking to the secondary receiver that's over here in kind of one of these 3 receiver tight sets. I still want Fred helping out all over the field if he can, but he's still got to look over here and look at this other receiver, and sometimes I have him cheat over a little bit. So that's kind of this first setting. When they're in this passing kind of run formation here, all these guys are kind of playing run first except for Fred, and then which Fred has always got pass. And then once the cornerbacks have their guys' releases and they know it's a pass, then they're in man coverage and not helping out with run anymore. So this is definitely at the older age group, and you've got to kind of practice this read, run, zone thing underneath, and then manning up once the receiver releases. So that's that first chart there. The second chart is when you've got a split end over here, and that definitely tells our cornerbacks when we've got a split that he's in man coverage now. You're still reading run, pass, but it's more pass, run kind of thing, and you're in man coverage. You're still looking kind of underneath 7 yards. You're kind of playing a zone there, and then you're going to basically, once he releases on a pass, you know it's a pass. you're going to play this inside press trail technique on him and play him man. And you never want to let a receiver just run by you. And a little trick here, if a receiver's wide outside, he's probably running inside. So we really want this slant cut off here if wide's going to try to make a slant. If you've got a receiver inside, they're probably going outside. So that's kind of a little trick there. Inside receivers run routes outside. Outside receivers usually run routes inside. Just kind of a little rule of thumb there. So Carl over here is set up on a wide receiver or a split end because he's on the line of scrimmage. He's got this guy in man. He's playing pass. He's looking for a run. If this guy doesn't release, he's helping out with the sweep. But he's pretty much in man coverage now that we've got a split. And your scouting report should be able to help you out there. If you know that this wide receiver is just a decoy, then you can have Carl play run first. But if they've got a Y out there that's a real, birdie, almost a birdie type of receiver, one of their better receivers, then he's playing pass, and your DN's got to be really up on the contain there. Over here, you've got this wingback and tight end thing again. They're reading for run pass underneath here. Fred's got the inside receiver release. And if Fred can help out on the other side, that's great. And he may want to back up here to do that. And I may call a far out where Fred would move back and play more of a zone. But it's really up to you guys. Bob over here is on the short side. He's going to have the outside receiver release, whoever that outside receiver is. Right now it's the wing back, but if the tight end pops out and the wing back goes to the middle, then Bob picks up the most outside receiver there. And then Bob's got him in man coverage if that receiver decides to go off into a pass route. And Fred's going to have the inside man. So this is where, a lot of communication needs to be going on now. Because Carl over here needs to understand that Fred, because there's a two receiver set on the other side, is hopping over there. The linebackers and the DNs also got to know this little flare pass or this motion's going to come over. And let's talk about motion. Let's say the wingback is here and the wingback motion's over here. That's what Fred moves. And Bob's definitely got the receiver there. Fred always has the motion man coming over and stays on the motion man from there. So even if the motion man now went outside of Carl, Fred is on that motion man once the motion man goes in motion. So let's go to this, let's go to this third slide here on cornerbacks. So now we've got doubles out to the side here. We've got a wing back and a tight end back over here. So Fred is definitely going to come to the more passing side of the formation. Bob is over here with the wing back and the tight end. He's going to have to definitely play more of this zone here underneath to see which one is, if one's going to block or one's going to release. If he's thinking one's going to release, he can call a Ted jam on the Tex tight end with the defensive tackle there, or we can try to put the defensive end and Owl to help him out a little bit. So that's one thing you can, as these guys get older, they can start talking to their D tackles and their DNs, and you may want to call that if you see that from the sideline. Over here, we've got definitely these, we got a split end here and a wide receiver, a slot here. We got one back in the backfield, which means there is a run potential, but definitely they've got definite pass potential now here with this. This guy can come in motion over here and do some things. So we've got to play pass now. So Carl is definitely hooked up there. Fred is hooked up there. Will is on his pass rush there. And so those guys are manned up with those guys. The Bob over here is having to play a zone read with these guys. Hopefully only one of them is going out. If you've got two, and there has two on the scouting report, you can pull Rover out there and go into kind of a 5-2 monster defense, and Rover could come over here from the middle if you want to help out with that. One of the things is Sometimes when these two receivers are close together, you might want to scoot Carl back a little bit if these guys run crossing patterns. So, Carl will have the outside cross, Fred's got the inside cross. You guys may want to work on that in practice there. And that's some things you want to do that. But again, we're playing man coverage once these guys go off here in our regular sets. Unless I call zone coverage, we're playing this zone read underneath thing, run thing, and then we're manning up when our receiver releases, and then we're manned up and we're manned up playing this inside press trail technique. Let's say they come out. This is really a spread, and I'm going to move into probably a 5-2 umbrella or diamond here. We're going to go basically man mug coverage in this. You've got your corner hooked up here, Fred hooked up here, Rover here, Rover here. You got outside receivers by your corners. Your Fred and Rover's got the two inside receivers. And if there's crossing patterns, they need to watch that cross, and then the corners have got the outside guys on the crosses. But Carl and Bob have got their outside guy. They're manned up. They're playing the inside press, trail technique there, making sure that they've got their guys covered. Now, if Carl is a better defender than Fred, and this fullback over here and wide traded, and this is a better receiver, you might in practice want to, have Fred and Carl switch off and put Carl in the better receiver if you've got some things like that going on, or maybe even move your gunner to help jam over there. So there's some things you can do with that. But when we go to spread, I'm in this 5-2. I can definitely go to a 5-1. If I went to 5-1, Mike would come out over here, Gunner would go into here, and Fred would come back in here, and then I've got an over-the-top zone guy to kind of help out with that. But if we're talking about the corners here, so the corners have the outside receiver from the outside. This is a true passing formation. They should know they've got man coverage, and this is probably a pass. And what's going on here. So they've got trips over here. You can see this going on right here. They've got a tight end over here. He actually sometimes might be split out over there. So when that occurs, I'll probably move into a 5-2. And I've got the Rover now here taking this third receiver. Fred here, Carl here, and Bob's on this guy. And so we could, and then I got definitely Will and Sam are going to be rushing because the pass rush is still the best rush. But once again, cornerback, it's real simple for cornerbacks. They've got the outside receiver. Fred's got the number 2. If a Rover comes in and he doesn't have a number 2 from the side, he's got the number 3 receiver there in that set. And whoever goes in motion, Fred will take. And then those two will have to figure out who they've got. Carl will still have the outside when Rover will have number 2 there. But it's really easy for corners. You got the outside receiver from the outside, and if there's a crossing pattern, you've got the outside receiver of the crossing pattern set. And it's pretty much the same thing in tights, splits, doubles, and trips. If I call cover 2 or cloud or the bullet formation, bullet is basically it's got you in cloud. Cloud stands for 2 corners, you're back over the top in a cover 2. You're playing zone. You're not looking at a man. You can kind of cheat over a little bit. But about 10 or 15 yards back there, you're playing a cover 2, and you've got anybody deep that comes out in your zone. So you're not playing man if I've called cloud or cover 2 or this bullet variation when we stack up right there. Cover 3, real simple again. You've got now a third of the field. Bob's got 1/3 over here. Carl's got 1/3. Fred's got his third in the middle. And this is a cover 3, or it's called Thunder, because I got 3 guys sitting back here waiting for that 3 Thunder kind of thing. And then cover 4, fog, 4, F kind of thing, thunder with 3, T, so fog, 4. And then there's a lot of guys back here. You're about 15 yards or wherever the first down marker is, and we're playing quarters. And this is really a prevent type of coverage here. Got everybody back. That's okay if they pass underneath. You've got, and we can move into that right there. And that's our zone coverage there. And that's fog or cover 4, where you've got the outside third, Carl and Bob. Okay? Or outside quarter on that, outside third on that, and you've got halves on this. You see, because you got 4 guys out there. Yep. Okay. So simplified, so cornerback simplified. If the offense is in basically a double tights formation or like a run formation, play run first, then pass, watch the tight end and wing back release, especially backside. It's very simple. If they're split receivers, wide receivers, you're playing man coverage on the first guy from the outside. You're playing inside press trail technique, man coverage on that receiver. Real simple. If it's a run formation, double tights, you're playing run first, help with pass. If you got split receivers, you're now playing probably pass first, then run. You're playing man coverage. Very, very simple. You got the outside receiver. Go for it. So that's cornerback simplified. That's a lot of information in the last 20 minutes. I hope you guys like the video. If you've got any comments or questions about how to play cornerback, or if you dislike the video, please leave that in the comments, and I'll try to answer those and update in the comments below. If you have a coach you'd like to share the video with, please share the video on. That really helps the channel. If you liked all the videos I put together on offense, defense, and drills, and some special teams is coming up soon, please subscribe to the channel. If you definitely want to help out a little bit more, and it's a big help to the channel, there's a donate button up top there where you could donate a couple of bucks. If you don't want to donate but still want to help my store and need some coaching products, you can shop my store link below, which I get a percentage of, and that really helps out the channel. I've got 2 books out right now: the 6'2" Multi-8 Youth Football Defense, which is a companion book to this video series. It'll be complete on the 15th, but you can get an advanced copy right now in beta, and you'll get updates actually through version 2 of the book. You can buy that. And I've also got a draft copy of my playbook that I've been using the last 10 or so seasons. It's about 150, 160 PowerPoint charts, and I will be updating that, and you'll get updates through version 2 on that one also. So take a look at those links below, and that helps support the channel. So if you want to buy or donate or shop, please do so. Hope you enjoyed the video again. Please like if you did. Again, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. Hope you guys are having a great day. Remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.